G'day guys, and welcome to Trader Talk number 7. Today we're going to be talking about trading courses. Now, this is an interesting topic of debate. Many people have got their thoughts and opinions on trading courses and if trading courses even do anything for you in your journey. A lot of people also talk about this idea that those who teach can't do and things like that. So let's dig into some of that now. So first and foremost, really, at the end of the day, courses are basically just a summary of most things that you can find out there with doing some digging, right? But what this is beneficial and why we pay for this is because it's packaged in something that can then be given to us that we can consume and hopefully cut our learning time down. Most courses will teach you something that did work upon a time, but it's really up to you to figure out if it's still relevant going forward. Now what I mean by that is you see many courses that say they've had X amount of time where the strategy has been profitable and this trade is, this particular strategy is a timeless trading strategy and this one's been going around for X amount of years and everything like that. But what you find is that over time it's tweaked and there's nuances that come through in the market and it's maybe changed on the time frame, or the market itself might have changed and you go from one asset to another asset but still trading the same principles. And that's something that can be very hard to be taught. That all comes around to the awareness of yourself and the love that the trader will have of trading. So a lot of people will come to trading and think that if you just learn this one set strategy, you're going to be right forever, and it's going to be an ATM for the rest of your life. But what they don't realize is over time markets adapt and change, become more and less liquid, the ranges change, there's more volatility and so on. So what these courses will teach you a lot of the time is the basics to build your knowledge, to build a trading plan, to build an idea, and then it's up to you to continuously be progressing it and building it forward. And I think that's something a lot of people do tend to forget about. Now, every course has both good and bad points. Now, a lot of people talk about a course being too mechanical and that it ends up being too much like writing an algorithm or such and such. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got courses that are way too discretionary. Now, both of these can help and hinder the person. Again, this really depends on what sort of an individual you're looking at. I mean, if you're looking at somebody who's a programmer and they're going down the discretionary route, that's obviously going to be a little bit more of a challenge for them to get a grasp of and understand. And this is the same thing too with trading communities. There's a big thing of whether they both help or hinder your performance, and really that comes down to the type of people in the community that you're surrounding yourself with. From my personal experience in a number of different trading communities, I generally find that the best and the most ideal way to do it is to find a couple of people, kind of like what you would in the real world with your own friends group. You know what I mean? You are probably better off having 5 close friends and 50 acquaintances, because you can grow more, you can learn more, you have a better, deeper relationship with those people. And the same goes with trading. There's no point being the friendliest person in the group and going nowhere. You'd rather have just a couple, or 1, 2 or 3 people who are similar to yourself, who have similar goals and ambitions as you, and working together very hard, keeping each other accountable, keeping each other on track. Whether you end up paying for those people, or they're part of the mentors, or they're part of the people who created the strategy or whatnot, that's a better way for you to end up getting further ahead than trying to be there, be friends with everyone. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people do join courses for this idea of to meet people, to get new friends and everything like that, and that's all well and good, but at the end of the day you're there to learn. So learning and becoming a trader and becoming consistently profitable has to be the number one, followed by the networking and social aspect of it as well. And I guess as well, one thing is within the community too, is I think sometimes there's too much assistance given by people, and sometimes the assistance robs you of your own sort of journey itself, and makes you almost be always seeking out validation from all these either trading mentors, other people in the trading group, or there might be people in the trading group who you're like, oh man, that guy must be so good or so smart, or he posts amazing returns, and you spend all your time trying to get their approval almost with your own trades, which never really gets you anywhere. And you've just really got to make sure you do find that balance, because I think a lot of people do go down the trap of joining trading courses. It ends up being more of a social thing, and that's well and good, but you need to understand and accept it for what it is, that You know, if there's people in the group who are just there for social and you're there to learn and become a gun trader, you probably shouldn't surround yourself with all those sort of people, because at the end of the day, you have different values. You know, you have a different path and a different journey. And at the end of the day, you know what? Just because a course doesn't work for you doesn't mean it doesn't work for anyone, doesn't mean it didn't work, doesn't mean they're frauds, scammers, or whatever. Sometimes it just doesn't suit you. And like sport, right? You can be a marathon runner and have slow twitch muscle fibers, or you can have a sprinter and have fast twitch muscle fibers. Now this is a little bit off topic, right? But the same sort of premise comes in is if both of them are different disciplines of running, right? But if you're beginning your running journey or whatever, right, and you don't know if you've got fast or slow twitch, you could be in the wrong one that's almost like better for you. And you can go in it and you can fail or not perform. I mean, maybe not fail is the right word, but you can not perform and not reach your potential. But if someone doesn't point out to you, okay, you know, you probably need to be looking at this side of running, these are your strands and blah, 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 or you understand that yourself, you might look at it as like, this is a scam, or like, I could never succeed. And when really that's not the case at all. So yeah, keep that in mind too when you're looking at courses. Just because you don't make money doesn't mean nobody makes money. Sometimes it's not right for you. Sometimes you're delusional and you didn't put enough work in. And we're going to leave it there. But make sure you tune in next week, because the delusional trader is the topic of the week. So I can't wait to share that with you. Have a good week, guys, and I'll see you then.